Good day, everyone. Hope things are going well for you today. I just wanted to do just kind of discuss natural antimicrobials because I think it's important for people to increase their intelligence on natural antimicrobials, like things that anybody can pick up at the store, any that you can pick up wherever you are if you want to pick them up at like places like Walmart, Amazon, Target, Costco. There's a lot of places that carry products that are contain antimicrobials, and a lot of these can be found in supplement form. Some can be bought at the grocery store, but all of them that I'm going to talk about. Oh, one I typed in doesn't have many antimicrobial properties, but some things I learned, and some things are kind of um, old information for me. I don't know where you're at on these, but hopefully some information on natural antimicrobials might help you at some time, maybe at some point in your life, might help to know something about natural antimicrobials. Um, so what I did was I typed in what are some good natural antimicrobials, and antimicrobials are basically antibiotics, or natural antibiotics, natural antivirals, and natural antifungals. And so the answer that I got, short answer, some of the most evidence supported natural antimicrobials include garlic, allicin, herbal spices like clove, cinnamon, thyme, turmeric, ginger, and bioactive plant compounds such as alkaloids, phenols, terpenes, and organosulfur compounds. These have demonstrated antimicrobial activity in scientific studies, including against antibiotic resistant pathogens. So then it talks about major categories of natural antimicrobials that are evidence based. Number one, organosulfur compounds. These include garlic, allicin. Allicin disrupts bacterial membranes and interferes with microbial protein synthesis. It has broad activity and can even potentiate antibiotics. Sulforaphane, broccoli and cruciferous vegetables, shown to inhibit bacterial growth and modulate resistant mechanisms. Number two, alkaloids. These include sanguinarine, bloodroot, interferes with bacterial cell division and increases membrane permeability. Number two, tomatidine, found in tomatoes and potatoes, disrupts bacterial cytokinesis and enhances reactive oxygen species generation in pathogens. These compounds have shown activity even against resistant strains like Staphylococcus aureus and Pseudomonas aeruginosa. And number three, phenols and polyphenols, found in herbs such as clove, thyme, cinnamon, mint, chamomile, fennel, and others. Mechanisms include membrane disruption, enzyme inhibition, and antioxidant-driven antimicrobial effects. Terpenes, present in eucalyptus, lemon balm, primrose, ginger, turmeric, and many aromatic herbs. Terpenes often act by damaging microbial membranes and inhibiting biofilm formation. Traditional medicinal plants. Broad spectrum. Many traditional medicinal plants produce diverse bioactive compounds that inhibit clinically important pathogens and can even reverse antibiotic resistance or synergize with existing drugs. Examples include turmeric, curcumin, ginger, thyme, cinnamon, garlic, and eucalyptus. effectiveness against resistant pathogens. A systematic review of 290 clinical studies from 2014 to 2024 found that natural products effective against WHO priority pathogens such as Pseudomonas aeruginosa, E. coli, Klebsiella pneumonia, Salmonella typhi, Staphylococcus aureus. This underscores that natural antimicrobials aren't just folk remedies. Many have measurable activity against serious drug-resistant bacteria. Practical takeaway: if you're looking for everyday natural antimicrobials with strong scientific backing, the most reliable are garlic, clove, cinnamon, thyme, turmeric, ginger, mint, and eucalyptus. These have demonstrated microbial, antimicrobial, antiviral, and antioxidant activity in controlled studies. A useful next step. Do you want a ranked list of the most effective natural antimicrobials, a comparison table, or recommendations for specific uses? Skin infections, gut health, or respiratory infections? How about how about a ranked list of the most effective natural antimicrobials? The answer is most effective natural antimicrobials ranked by strength of evidence and breadth of activity. Based on recent scientific reviews, the strongest natural antimicrobials fall into a few well-studied chemical families: organosulfur compounds, alkaloids, phenols, and terpenes, with consistent activity against major pathogens, including Staphylococcus aureus, E. coli, Klebsiella pneumonia, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and Salmonella typhi. Ranked list. Most effective natural antimicrobials. Number 1, garlic, allicin. Organosulfur compound. Why it ranks number 1? Allicin shows broad spectrum activity and can even potentiate commercial antibiotics by disrupting membranes and inhibiting protein synthesis. It is one of the most consistently validated natural antimicrobials in modern studies. Sanguarine, alkaloid, bloodroot. Why it ranks number 2? Demonstrates strong activity against resistant bacteria by disrupting bacterial cell division, increasing membrane permeability, and generating reactive oxygen species. Number 3, tomatidine, alkaloid, tomatoes, potatoes. Why it ranks number 3? Interferes with bacterial cytokinesis and enhances oxidative stress in pathogens, also shown to boost the effectiveness of antibiotics like vancomycin and ciprofloxacin. Number 4, sulforaphane, isothiocyanate, broccoli, and crucifers. Well, it ranks number 4, a potent antimicrobial isothiocyanate with activity against resistant strains, also modulates bacterial resistant mechanisms. Number 5, clove, eugenol, phenolic compound. Why it ranks number 5? Phenols such as eugenol disrupt microbial membranes and inhibit enzymes. Widely studied for broad antibacterial and antifungal activity. Number 6, thyme, thymol, phenolic terpene. Why it ranks number 6? Thymol is a powerful membrane-active antimicrobial with strong anti-biofilm properties. Number 7, cinnamon, cinnamaldehyde, phenolic compound. Why it ranks number 7? Cinnamaldehyde inhibits bacterial enzymes and disrupts membranes, effective against several WHO priority pathogens. Number 8, turmeric curcumin, polyphenol. Why it ranks number 8? Curcumin exhibits antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal effects and can reduce virulence factors in resistant bacteria. Number 9, ginger, gingerols, shogaols, I don't know how they say that, terpenes, and phenols. While it ranks number 9, shows broad antimicrobial activity and inhibits biofilm formation. Number 10, eucalyptus, or eucalyptol, terpene. While it ranks number 10, terpenes from eucalyptus damage microbial membranes and have strong respiratory focused antimicrobial effects. Why these rank the highest? Across multiple systematic reviews and research collections, 2014 to 2024, these compounds repeatedly show broad spectrum activity against bacteria, fungi, and sometimes viruses. Mechanistic clarity, membrane disruption, enzyme inhibition, ROS generation, antibiofilm effects. Effective against WHO, World Health Organization, priority pathogens, including P. aeruginosa, E. coli, K. pneumonia, S. aureus, and S. typhi. So then I asked for a comparison table showing mechanism strengths and limitations. So here's a clear structured comparison table of the top natural antimicrobials showing mechanisms, strengths, and limitations. This is built to help you see why each one works and where it falls short. Comparison table, most effective natural antimicrobials. I was hitting on the same thing again. But this gives mechanism, strengths, and limitations. So garlic disrupts bacterial membranes, inhibits protein and DNA synthesis. Strengths, broad spectrum, active against resistant bacteria. Synergizes with antibiotics. Limitations, garlic is unstable, rapidly degrades, raw form needed for strongest effect. Sanguinarine, or bloodroot, inhibits cell division, increases membrane permeability, induces ROS. Strengths, very potent, effective against gram-positive and gram-negative pathogens. Toxic, limitations, toxic at higher doses, not suitable for casual or long-term use. Tomatidine, tomato or potato alkaline, blocks bacterial energy production and cytokinesis. Strengths, strong synergy with antibiotics, effective against S. aureus. Limitations, are not widely available as a supplement. Limited human studies. Sulforaphane, broccoli sprouts. Primary mechanism, disrupts bacterial metabolism, modulates resistance genes. Strengths, antibiofilm, anti-inflammatory, safe for daily use. Limitations, mild direct antimicrobial effect, best as a supportive compound. Clove, primary mechanism, disrupts membrane disruption, enzyme inhibition, strong antifungal plus antibacterial, effective in low concentrations. Limitations, can irritate mucous membranes, strong flavor, limits dosing. Thyme, primary mechanism, membrane disruption, antibiofilm activity, and strengths and limitations. Highly potent, works against resistant strains, stable in extracts. Limitations, can be irritating in high concentrations. Essential oil must be diluted. Cinnamon, primary mechanism, inhibits bacterial enzymes, disrupts membranes. Strengths, broad spectrum, antiviral plus antifungal, good for food preservation. Limitations, high doses can be hepatotoxic. Cassia cinnamon contains coumarin. Turmeric, curcumin, inhibits curone sensing, reduces virulence factors. Anti-inflammatory, plus strengths anti-inflammatory plus antimicrobial, reduces bacterial toxin production, and limitations: poor absorption, mild direct antimicrobial effect unless concentrated. Ginger, anti-biofilm, membrane disruption, strengths good for respiratory plus GI pathogens, anti-inflammatory. Limitations: moderate potency. Fresh ginger varies in active compound levels. And lastly, eucalyptus. Primary mechanism: membrane disruption, inhibits microbial respiration. Strengths: excellent for respiratory infections. Strong antiviral activity. Limitations: not for ingestion in pure form. Can be toxic undiluted. And key insights: garlic, sanguinarine, and thyme are the most potent direct antimicrobials. Sulforaphane and curcumin shine more as resistance modulators and anti-biofilm agents than as direct killers. Clove, cinnamon, and thyme offer the best balance of potency plus safety when used correctly. Timatidine is one of the most promising but least accessible compounds. So then I just started asking about things I know off the top of my head that might be helpful and might be antimicrobial. And all but one of these are, sure enough, antimicrobial. So one of them I asked was about, is EGCG an antimicrobial? The answer is yes, EGCG is an antimicrobial, but with an important nuance. It is much more potent as an antiviral and antifungal agent than as a direct antibacterial, where it requires much higher concentrations to inhibit growth. It also shows strong synergy with antibiotics, making bacteria more sensitive to conventional drugs. What the evidence shows: EGCG has a documented antimicrobial activity. EGCG demonstrates antimicrobial and antibiofilm activity, including against Vibrio parahemolyticus. It has antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral effects, although antibacterial MICs are often 10 to 100 times higher than antiviral effective concentrations. EGCG is a strongly antiviral. EGCG inhibits multiple virus families, including HIV, influenza A, hepatitis B and C, herpes simplex virus, and adenovirus. Mechanisms include blocking viral entry, inhibiting replication, and disrupting viral membranes. Number 3, EGCG is antibacterial, but weaker on its own. EGCG inhibits Staphylococcus aureus and E. coli, but at relatively high MICs, 200 to 400 micrograms per milliliter for Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and 400 for E. coli. It is more effective against gram-positive than gram-negative bacteria due to the protective outer membrane of gram-negatives. EGCG shows strong synergy with antibiotics. EGCG combined with gentamicin shows strong synergistic effects against multi-drug resistant E. coli and S. aureus. EGCG also participates in synergistic combinations with multiple antibiotics against ESKAPE pathogens. EGCG nanoparticles are even more potent. Nano-encapsulated EGCG kills up to 80% of Salmonella enteritis within 1 hour, showing enhanced stability and protection. Bottom line, EGCG is an antimicrobial, but its profile looks like this: antiviral, very strong; antifungal, moderate; antibacterial, mild on its own, but powerful when combined with antibiotics; antibiofilm, strong. Best use case as a synergistic enhancer of antibiotics, or as a part of a multi-compound antimicrobial strategy. So then I asked about, is L-theanine an antimicrobial? And this is the only one on here that's, it is not an antimicrobial. L-theanine is not a direct antimicrobial, but it can influence microbial outcomes indirectly through immune modulation, or in at least one case it shows direct antifungal activity in plants. The evidence breaks down into two categories: immune modulated effects in humans and direct antifungal effects in plants' food systems. L-theanine is not a direct antiviral or antibacterial in humans. Human-focused research shows that L-theanine works primarily as an immunomodulator, not as a compound that directly kills microbes. L-theanine does not act as a direct antiviral agent, but instead enhances immune defenses by activating T cells, NK cells, macrophages, and supporting glutathione production. Reviews of T bioactives show that theanine contributes to antiviral effects, but largely through immune enhancement, not direct viral inhibition like catechins or theaflavins do. Broader reviews emphasize L-theanine's role in reducing immunosuppression, improving resistance to colds, flu, and regulating cytokines, not killing pathogens directly. Conclusion: in humans, L-theanine supports the immune system, which can reduce infection severity, but is not classified as an antimicrobial compound. L-theanine does not show direct antifungal activity in plants. A 2024 study on strawberries found that L-theanine directly inhibited the growth of Botrytis cinerea, gray mold fungus, in vitro, reduced disease incidence and severity in treated fruit, increased phenolic compounds, and strengthened cell wall defenses, enhancing resistance. This is true antimicrobial activity, but it only has been demonstrated in plant systems, not humans. So how to interpret this? Is L-theanine antibacterial? No evidence in humans. Is L-theanine antiviral? Not directly. It enhances immune response. Is L-theanine antifungal? Yes, in plants. Botrytis cinerea, but not shown in humans. Does L-theanine help the body fight infections? Yes, indirectly via immune modulation. And bottom line, L-theanine is not considered an antimicrobial in humans. Its benefits come from immune enhancement, not from killing microbes. However, it does exhibit direct antifungal activity in plant pathology, which is scientifically interesting, but is not directly applicable to human antimicrobial therapy. So I'm going to ask you about pomegranate. Is pomegranate an antimicrobial? Answer is yes. Pomegranate is a well-established natural antimicrobial with strong evidence across antibacterial, antifungal, and antiquorum sensing activity. The effect is especially potent in peel and pericarp extracts, which contain very high concentrations of punicalagins, ellagic acid, gallic acid, and other phenolics. Below is a structured, evidence-grounded breakdown. Antibacterial activity, strong evidence. Multiple studies shown that pomegranate extracts, especially pericarp and peel extracts, exhibit bactericidal activity at low concentrations against clinically important pathogens. Pericarp extract shows bactericidal effects at 0.109% P/V against MRSA, methicillin sensitive S. aureus, and carbapenem resistant Acinetobacter, whatever that is, and then also some effectiveness against E. coli. Peel extracts inhibited both gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria with MIC values of 0.3 to 2.7 across 18 of 24 tested conditions. Leaf extracts also show antibacterial activity and can synergize with antibiotics such as amoxicillin and cefotaxime against resistant E. coli and S. aureus. Methanolic leaf extract demonstrated significant inhibition zones against multi-drug resistant E. coli. Takeaway: Pomegranate is one of the most potent plant-based antibacterials studied, especially in peel pericarp form. So antifungal activity. Pomegranate extract shows activity against Candida species and other fungal pathogens. Methanolic extracts produced inhibition zones up to 30 mm against Candida species. Takeaway: strong antifungal potency, particularly from methanolic extracts. And number 3, anti-quorum sensing and antivirulence activity. Pomegranate does not just kill microbes, it also suppresses virulence factors. Methanolic extract significantly inhibits swarming motility, pyocyanin production, and proteolytic, elastolytic activity in Pseudomonas aeruginosa PA001. Takeaway: this makes pomegranate valuable for disrupting biofilms and reducing pathogenicity. Why pomegranate is so effective? The antimicrobial power comes from its high phenolic content, especially punicalagins, ellagic acid, gallic acid, rutin, epicatechin, and caffeic acid. These compounds disrupt microbial membranes, inhibit enzymes, and interfere with quorum sensing. And bottom line, yes, pomegranate is a potent natural antimicrobial with strong evidence for antibacterial activity, antifungal activity, antibiofilm and antiquorum sensing effects, synergy with antibiotics. The peel pericarp extracts are far more potent than juice. And then lastly, I asked about, is elderberry a good antimicrobial? Answer is yes, elderberry. Sambucus nigra is a good antimicrobial with antibacterial, antiviral, and immunomodulatory effects supported by multiple studies. The strength of the evidence varies by pathogen type, but overall, elderberry is one of the better supported natural antimicrobial botanicals. Number 1, antibacterial activity. Well supported. Elderberry contains phenolic compounds, anthocyanins, flavonols, and phenolic acids that inhibit several clinically relevant bacteria. A high-throughput screening study identified multiple elderberry compounds with antibacterial activity, including strong inhibition of Staphylococcus aureus by cyanidin 3-0 rutinoside. Freeze-dried elderberry extract showed antimicrobial activity, with S. aureus being the most sensitive, and Pseudomonas aeruginosa inhibited at a minimum inhibitory concentration of 1.95 mg per ml. A standardized elderberry liquid extract inhibited Streptococcus pyogenes group CRG, Streptococci, and Branhamella catarrhalis in culture. Takeaway: elderberry is a legitimate antibacterial, especially against gram-positive respiratory pathogens. And then antiviral activity of elderberry. There's very strong evidence. Elderberry is even better supported as an antiviral than as an antibacterial. Multiple elderberry compounds showed significant antiviral activity against HIV-1 strains in vitro. Anthocyanin-enriched elderberry extract demonstrated antiviral efficacy and immune modulating effects, reducing pro-inflammatory cytokines and inhibiting modified Vaccinia virus ankara. Standardized elderberry extract inhibited influenza A, including H5N1, and influenza B viral propagation in cell culture. Takeaway: elderberry is one of the most evidence-supported antiviral botanicals, especially for respiratory viruses. Number 3, broad antimicrobial profile. Systemic review evidence. A systemic review of in vitro studies found 87.5% of well-prepared elderberry extracts inhibited at least one microorganism tested. Fruit and flower extracts were consistently active. Extracts using mixed plant parts, leaves, wood, unripe fruit, or not. Takeaway: elderberry's antimicrobial activity is reliable when using the correct plant parts, ripe fruit or flowers. Why elderberry works. Key bioactive compounds include anthocyanins, cyanidin, sambuiosides, and flavonols, and phenolic acids. These compounds disrupt microbial membranes, inhibit viral entry, replication, and modulate immune responses. Elderberry is a good natural antimicrobial, with strong evidence for antiviral activity, influenza, HIV-1, vaccinia, and antibacterial activity, especially Staphylococcus aureus and Streptococcus. Immune modulation that enhances host defense. Its strongest domain is antiviral, followed by antibacterial, with consistent results across multiple extract types. So yeah, we'll leave it there. I just wanted to discuss some antimicrobial, like natural antimicrobials. Some things that you could try when you get sick and you're not in a spot to be able to try, or you don't want to try prescription antibiotics. Alright, enjoy your day.